Stay inside here, guys.
So let's kick off your Friday night double right here on Fox League. It is the Dragons and the Roosters, a one-point thriller. Last time they played, and Matt Lodge cops the treatment on the first tackle of the night. A night that sees no Jack Bird. I think that's a big loss for the Dragons. Roosters, of course, Jared Wairia-Hargreaves out as well, so a couple of enforcers from the respective sides out. Collins up to the 40-metre line. Expected to be picked for Queensland in Origin. Now Radley to halfway. Roosters haven't scored more than 6 points the last 2 weeks. It's unflattering to say the least. Lodge on this run. 40 metres away from the Dragons line. A chance for a bit of pressure from the first kick of the night. Hutchison, Smith is chasing through, and Ravalawa got a little face mask from Smith on the way through.
Yeah, and a really powerful set from the Roosters first up. There wasn't a lot of passing in it, but it was very powerful, right up to the 60-metre line, and a good kick on the end of it.
Spread left. Sully on the left, Zach Lomax on the right for the Dragons, and oh my goodness, Moses Sully, who had, well, to be kind, a mixed day last week against the Cowboys with his first carry, loses the ball.
Yeah, and an interesting switch. We see him switch over to this left-hand side of the field, and Zach Lomax going back to his favourite side on the right. The experiment to swap him around in the first part of the season probably hasn't worked the way the coaches would have liked, and they get an opportunity tonight to show their wares, but not a great start for Sully.
Heads in here. Jaden, just arms around. Thanks, mate.
Alrighty, Roosters setting up Keary left side of the scrum. Tedesco has moved over that way as well. And off they go, Turpin and Keary, and flicked along. The Roosters with an early chance.
Move now!
Corey Allen, their lone try scorer last week, ended up with it. Now Lodge, just 5 metres away from the line. This time it's a big line on the right side. Here they come. Keary, Hutchison, knocked down by Sully. And no play on the call. Roosters, now it's late. Roosters were blowing up. Dragons looking to take advantage of it.
14 now.
The call has come through, I dare say, came
Scrum's here
from Casey Badger.
Ready on the scrum middle.
Western
Clock's
side of the
on.
ground.
Yeah, well, he has a look at the replay. It just went out the back. Drew Hutchison had to get that ball away quick, and it was just Sully coming outside in. Just got a little touch on it.
Make sure we come in a bit quicker here, guys.
Another scrum centre part of the field. They'll chance them to arms again when the Dragons set up 3-3, both sides of the scrum. The Roosters got 4 on the left.
Heads in here, guys.
Flanagan has counted the numbers
into the back,
from the Fox League commentary box tonight.
That's it, Matt. Head in. Clock's off. Stay in tight at the back. Ball in.
All the way out to Smith and Allen. There's Keary. Finds Smith. Staggered defensive line.
Move now. Pick the ball up.
Under pressure here. That was close
Go wide.
to scoring straight from the scrum. Keary, Collins. Good tackle, low down. DeBellin low. It was little over the top. Now Radley onto Lodge. Powerful start to the game from Matt Lodge for the Roosters. Turpin back in front of the post. Hutchison, dummy and run. He's spun around like he's on a lazy Susan. His legs went in goal. That's the mixed entree. Ended up in goal, but not the main course, the ball.
No try, tackle 4. Just make sure that he's sure the touch line.
Just talking about that, Shane. Where's the nearest Chinese?
You're exactly right. It was a beautiful tackle around the legs. You could see the try line, and the tackle needed to be made. Jack DeBellin it is. And just on the
to make sure that Drew Hutchison doesn't get the line at any point. It's all momentum in the tackle.
That's an interesting one, because what if he brings the ball closer to his body? He's promoting it towards the goal line, but you know what I mean? That would be a try.
After last night,
yes, no one knows. No.
No, it won't be quick.
But he's facing totally the wrong way. If
Based on the available camera angles, we'll be supporting the on-field decision or short of the line.
He does the reverse of promoting the ball. He would be putting it over the line. What a peculiar one that was.
Wait.
Roosters set up big here. There are Roosters jerseys in formation from here to test the Dragons' defence. Away we go, Radley. With all those teammates in attacking positions, he took the run. Turpin, Keary, a dab. Tupanua hit the deck. Dragons come up with a ball. It's a pile-driving effort. right on the goal line. And referee Goff says you've done enough to get to the field of play. I think there were 9 players involved in that tackle.
Yeah, it was interesting. Tyrell Sloan didn't really look like he wanted to get out into the field of play.
Arms away, Jake, square.
So Dragons thankful to have possession. Outside their 20 was Sewer. Little back is starting acting half tonight. DeBellin on the run. No Moses Mbai. He's been listed as the replacement player. That's the first kick of the night from Hunts. Bounces left, bounces back. They're all offside. And Tedesco brings it back over the 40-metre line. The referee could not have been any clearer.
Yeah, and it had to be a penalty, even though the ball bounced back. The defensive line of the Dragons didn't adjust. They just stayed where they were, where the ball bounced, which put them all offside.
Mind you, if they just stand back and let Tedesco run it, he goes 30, 40 metres upfield, I suppose.
Off the tap, yep.
Roosters all worse for the Dragons. So Roosters with the ball, play one, 40 metres away from the line. Fine night in Sydney. The first game, and now the Roosters error through Radley. And the Dragons come up with a ball.
Stand together now.
Maybe just a reflection through the first 5.5 minutes where these two sides are at. Lacking a little bit of confidence.
Billy, let it get square.
Let's hope it grows, comes back to them through the course of this one.
It was a really good tackle underneath the football on Victor Radley.
Out together.
Just lined him up, hit him underneath the football in the wet conditions.
From inside his own half, the kick over the top. Tedesco going back for it. And he'll be held. No, he won't. He got through the first line in one run. That's more tackle bust than in all 80 minutes last week against Penrith.
Back on the ball,
and then penalty the way of the Roosters as well. Let's go down to the sideline. Matt Russell on an intriguing night. Roosters and Dragons. What's the feel among the fans sitting there on the sideline?
Anything could happen, especially given their recent form, a losing streak for the Dragons. Likewise, the Roosters, you said fine night, Andrew. It's beautiful, 14 degrees, perfectly still. As Drew Hutchison discovered, a really slippery surface, though. And I'm intrigued to see what way the Dragons attack tonight. When these teams clashed a month ago, the Dragons scored 5 tries down their right at the Roosters' left. And technically, they're even stronger tonight with Michaeli Ravalawa back on a wing.
Rogers running hard. He sent Jacob Little almost out onto the highway. Roosters 35 metres away from the Dragons line through 7 minutes of play. Field position with the Roosters testing the Dragons' defence on the edge there. Hunt and Lomax defending. The tackle on Butcher. Radley caught 2 minds. Oh, that broke down. On the 20. Fast it is for the Roosters. Keary, the kicker this time, right of the ruck, steadies to look for his main man. Sully, he's there. Lovely takes Sully, and he's away for St George Illawarra. Roosters are chasing. Sully inside the 40. Smith, they're not going to get him. Moses Sully has turned things around from a drop ball first touch to run 90 metres to score. Dragons fans are up on their feet. Ryan Carr's a super coach.
Well, he's got up to a good start, that's for sure, Vossi. And that's just a reward for the St George Illawarra Dragons defending. They've had to defend their try line on 2 or 3 occasions in this early stage of this game. And on that occasion, Keary put the kick up into the corner. Suwali was going for it around the back, but it just lands straight in the lap. And the big centre just goes all the way. He had a look around, just wondered if there was any speedsters coming for him, but the right-hand side had chased hard on the kick, and they weren't good enough. He just ran the length of the field.
Wow, I've robbed him of 5 metres. It's a 95-metre run for Moses Sully. Have a look at this powerful force when he gets things right. Here's the speed he can run. Well, let's hope that turns it around, because it was, to be honest, it was very poor last week. But let's hope now he becomes the force. He had a really good Anzac Day game. He was 7 tackle busts, lots of touches, damaging. Let's not get too cute. Just give him early ball and see what he can do.
Yeah, he's a big, powerful athlete. And his last year was outstanding. He hasn't been as good this year, but maybe that try just sparks something inside him as you look at the coach in the coach's box.
Please, Ryan. No, you've got a lot to learn. You can't be smiling. Shane, go help him out. You can't be smiling. A few minutes into the game. Lomax, that's a confidence booster. Get the first one of the night. 6-0 through 9.5 minutes.
Yeah, the Roosters have made a habit of scoring the first try against the Dragons. Not tonight, though. Goes to Moses Suley. 17 games last year as a left centre. Of course, he was moved to the right this year. That experiment deemed to have failed. So when interim coach Ryan Carr said, Moses, I think you've got to go back onto the left to fit Zach onto the right, Moses said, no worries. And there's the reward. The kick goes to him. He goes the length of the field.
Well, the theme of Indigenous round, Matty, is moving forward together. You could probably add for Moses and his teammates, they're moving forward together quickly. That was a big run for first points of the night.
Big carry, Illawarra.
You see the glimpses, you say, well, where do they get things wrong? They cover a lot of bases here.
Get square!
Illawarra is good for a try. He's scored in the last 4 matches, at least one. See what caught on the 30-metre line there. Now Little. And we're coming to trouble with Molo. Francis in the side. Michael out. He was named as the middle forward, but Francis replaces his brother. Now to Bellin, the set-up good here. Hunt. The Dragons getting on a roll. Sewer may have gone to his outside. Lomax and Ravalawa there. Hunt will bomb from 35 metres out. Chases with intent. Tedesco with the ball for the Roosters. But that's a great set from St George Illawarra.
Yeah, it was a great set. They just found a little bit of space on their right-hand side. One of the big Roosters forwards got caught out a little bit wide and turned his toes in, and then the pass went to the outside. I think they'll go back to that edge as soon as they can.
Allen on the 20. Turpin with Collins. Brandon Smith again coming off the bench tonight. As he did last week, it's the 3rd time this season they've started Brandon on the bench. Now Tupanua with the ball. Crichton also coming off the bench tonight. Experienced. They have Smith, Nat Butcher, Angus Crichton and Nathan Brown on his Roosters debut tonight. Sloan allows that one to bounce. He's with the ball from 5 metres out from his own line and nowhere really to go on that kick return. Okay, have they flicked to switch the Dragons? Let's see if they can follow up here. This the first of your 2 matches on a Friday night. Rabbitohs and the Parramatta Eels next up. Rabbitohs flying high at the top of the table. Not to be missed on Fox League tonight. On that run. 15 inside their own half. Little takes off. Good play. Sewer follows up. Energetic run and gets the penalty as well. A little clip over the top. This is very encouraging from the Dragons.
Yeah, very encouraging. Sewer, he looks in a mood. Got some good leg speed. He's carried twice and got a bit of joy on that far side of the field on that occasion. Skipped to the outside. Just a high tackle, just clipped him around the chin.
Try against the run of play, the run away from Suley, and it's as if they have flicked a switch, St George Illawarra. Sewer on this run. Play one, 28 metres away from the Roosters line. Now Little. Back to centre field with Molo. He will run hard every time he gets a chance. Hunt in game number 301 there for Murdoch Basilla. Got through the tackle of Keary. Now a set restart. And now Little can't get to the ball at dummy half. Clearly the call of play on. I think Little playing for the penalty. 8 metres away. Little, who has scored in his last 2 matches against the Roosters. Maybe good for a little burrowing effort here. Here he is, Little, to the right for Hunt. Prop and beat one, and goes over. What a start! St George Illawarra fans. It's like a new dawn. Up they go, 2 tries. Inside 13 minutes.
And it's that man, their inspirational captain, Ben Hunt. They looked like they were set to shift over to the left-hand side, and Ben Hunt just called for the football. It was a wide 4 defenders. and they just rush up on the outside. He skips back to the inside, and he's so strong and powerful and built low to the ground. He just ducks underneath that last tackle. He knew there was space. He's got great footwork, has a big show to the outside.
Love seeing Ben Hunt run close to the line. That's almost like a Cameron Munster-style dummy, an exaggerated dummy. And he's got the customary kick into the crowd. He does that well. He owns that.
Yeah, his 300th game last week. He would have loved it to be at home and get a win, but his 301st, a really good start.
Now 77 tries for the career. Game 114 for the Dragons. Ben Hunt, a 10-0 scoreline. A little tougher the conversion attempt this time from Lomax. He's under pressure in all areas, but certainly his goal kicking, had he got a few more earlier in the season, there's a chance the Dragons haven't had the week they've just had.
And I saw him a couple of weeks in the lower grades, in reserve grade, and he kicked well. So hopefully he's got his kicking boots on. He was out before the game started, had a few practice kicks, and looked pretty good.
11 in from touch, 22 metres out for a 12-0 start. Lomax, the kick, successful. He's 2 from 2, and he's 1 from each side. Dragons now off to a flyer.
So much attention for the try scorer, Andrew, during the week. Ben Hunt, is his future at the Dragons? Is his future at the Dragons in the number 7 or the number 9? Of course, he went back to that halfback, his preferred halfback role last week when Jayden Sullivan was sin bin. What does it mean for the man they call Bud? When does Sullivan come on today, if at all? Ryan Carr wasn't giving much away during the week or pre-game. He said, we'll wait and see how this game goes.
Well, that is great. It's amazing what a few tries can do. Smiles on the bench, enjoying it. Last week it was grim. It's been grim for 6 weeks in terms of results at the end of 80 minutes, but so early they're looking relaxed. 12-0 on the board. So ready to spread it. Why not? Surly straightening up. Here he's in for a busy night. Made the tackle there with Sulihi. Now Fiona can bust the tackle. Little has been good so far. DeBellin far away from game 200. Jack DeBellin, it's been a bit of a month of milestones. Luke Brooks plays game 200 for the Tigers. We wish him well at Leichhardt tomorrow. Hunt kicking high. Allen underneath it. Roosters with the ball, but another very effective set from the Dragons. Oh, hello. Then just dropped down by Lomax. He's done the suplex. Then there's some ball throwing. Then there's some push and shove. Some jersey pulling. Cursing.
Yeah,
but no one's lost an eye, I don't think.
Here, Bucky, if you have. Junior.
But what started it all was aggressive, but we're not playing tiddlywinks out here. Allen's only just got up. Is this fair cop, this tackle?
Yeah, it's fair. It's Allen. It's like he slammed him to the ground, and the only doubt about it is, does his head slam into the ground? Zach Lomax trying to get the ball off him. He can't do it, and then he slammed him into the ground. His head doesn't hit the ground, so I think it's fair play.
No, I think the defence, you got 100% right, Shane. There's no question. He is trying to strip the ball, and I know it looks
looks aggressive.
Awkward.
So it's a slamming action.
Oh, really?
Comes off. It comes down on the head. It's going to be on the ground.
Oh, hang on, Radley.
It's come back reviewed.
Hang on a second. Now, there's a little bit more to look at in that video.
And it's going to be a penalty here, and he's on report.
They're talking about a
Still
headbutt in
looking at
that.
it, mate. So just enough.
Oh, well, hang on a second. The penalty will go to the Roosters for head slamming action, but Dragons were claiming headbutt against Victor Radley. What happens? The choking, then he pushed, and then bang. Oh.
Are you sure there's nothing?
Well, they pointed again. It's been shown on the big screen here.
They're not seeing that.
Yeah.
What are they looking at in there?
Ben.
Mate, he headbutts and it's clear.
Enough.
Mate.
As captain, enough.
I know I'm captain. I'm allowed to talk to you. He's headbutting.
Not the way you're doing it at the moment.
Well, that's a flashpoint in this
Victor,
game.
come here.
16 minutes in. Oh, now, hang on a second.
The penalty standing here for what happened in the tackle with Zach Lomax. You're leading with the head in the scuffle. It's on report. The penalty is staying here. James, that's the end of that. They don't come together again.
As opposed to a headbutt. Well, Victor, he should go out and buy a lotto. He never, like, there's a chair with his name on it in the sin bin. He's dodged a bullet there. Oh, and have a look at the Dragons' defence now. Hello, hello, hello. Friday Rugby League on Fox has come along. The Dragons, 3 and 4 at every tackle. Victor, what have you done? You have poked the bear/dragon. And a 12-0 scoreline.
Go 3. Hey?
That's one for the halftime show. A little bit of review for Cooper and Brandy to have a chat with Vonnie. Was Victor lucky? Roosters with a ball. Turpin to Hutchison, who kicks long. And Sloan with it. It certainly flies in the face of those that think players have their papers stamped. Yeah, Corey Horsburgh and the like will at least stayed on there. Another strong charge. There's a lot going on in every tackle. Collins is dragged away from the scene. No one wants to play football. Now Lindsay's in a push and shove with 5 of them. He said, I'll take on everyone. Sully with the ball. There's a little bit old school about this. That 12-0. Oh, lovely! Wow! What a shot! Matt Lodge! That was awesome. Hunt now, the runner. Sewer on the last tackle. Lomax goes long. Gets it way over the head. And in fact, it'll go over the dead ball line, and Happy Dragon wasn't able to handle.
Well, that's been a big minute or so there. We see some huge tackles, some big incidents. The Dragons need to be really careful, especially their young fullback in Tyrell Sloan, that he doesn't get caught up in the push and the shove and just focus on his footy. The Roosters' experience, they'll concentrate on their football. The young Dragons players need to do the same.
We will stick with the play, but it is bizarre that it took so long to pick up the Radley head motion. We'd gone past it. Ben Hunt's lodging his 3rd complaint before it was detected. A weird one. Butcher tackled inside the Dragons' half. Radley now to Keary. Nice setup. Tedesco sweeps in. Suolini with the ball, but well contained. And off Priscilla from the inside. A good tackle. Fionney was the man over the top. Keary a jink and dummy, and then shortened up again. That was Molo and DeBellin on Keary. Slowly to his feet. Hutchison, the bomber on the last. Smith and Allen getting through, and perfect positioning from Ravalawa.
Jumps off the line.
Jumps off the line, which is in goal.
I think the referee got it right. He was right on the spot. Ravalawa knew he had to jump out into the field of play, was really patient, got the job done.
The test of referee Goff here. He's got a bit of a small powder keg at this point. They've settled down over the last set. How good was the tackle of Lodge on Laurie? It was 2 big men. A shattering hole penalty, Dragons. And the players cheer.
Yeah, young Toby Couchman just come onto the field from Michael Molo, Francis Molo.
Okay, mate, that's all that is. We're good now, that's all right. Stay on side here, guys.
What a good exchange that was. Referee Goff says we're good now. Just to Ben Hunt, just a little...
Just forget about all that, Ben.
Yeah, move on. Certainly a dramatic moment, though, in the first half.
Half the tap.
What about sin binning last week? And that's probably part of it. I mean, Jaden Sullivan last week to the bin. They concede 3 tries in that moment. They're thinking, well, let's play against 12 here. Little on to Laurie. 2 ground thrown down again by the Roosters defence. This is some statement from Lodge early, even though he's team down 12. And Sloan now, Lomax back on that favoured right side. 20 metres away from the line. George Illawarra Dragons. Hunts, DeBellin again over the top. Lodge solid, Collins low. Still 2 tackles left here for the Dragons. Amon clipped on the way as he slid. Last tackle it is for St George Illawarra. Hunt on the right side of the ruck. De Bellin, now Hunt's got it, dummy inside, goes outside, it was flat to Sewer. The Roosters defence scramble enough to get a result.
And they needed to. They're just struggling a little bit, Roosters, to get some consistency in their football. Some poor set ends, obviously, with the try, and then just giving some penalties away coming out of their end, not making the Dragons kick out.
So there's some hard toil to do here against the fired-up Dragons. Smith playing at that time. Tupanua to Kiri. Misses out Suli. He finds Jackson Barlow on the wing. Now the Roosters reflected in his stats, 6 tries in the first 5 rounds. Hasn't scored the last handful of weeks. Rugby just over halfway. Now Tedesco. Captured there again. Multiples in every tackle for the Dragons.
Release their last tackle.
Turpin. Outside with Kiri. Bomb from 33 metres out. Sloan ready for it. Chases there on the fingertips. Play on. Roosters ball. Tupanua. There's a forward pass at the end of it.
Last tackle handover. You got the mark there, Ben? Yes, mate.
Yeah, they put the kick in. They get a bit of joy from it, but then Tupanua was just in front of the flick pass.
Lindsay.
The referee calls out Lindsay Collins.
It's a tackle on Ben Murdoch-Masilla in the last set. He worked the arm back over, so shot report, mate.
Well, let's have a look on the Fox League replay. Show you what they're
the
referring to. Working the arm over, the left arm of Murdoch-Masilla.
Play the ball here, tackle 1. We
Put on
come up
report
here,
for
guys.
that. Lindsay Collins.
When you're ready, Ben, make sure we hold in. Go.
Dragons away from their own 10-metre line now. 23 minutes gone, a 12-0 scoreline.
Hold, wait, go. Egan, Matt, up together. Tilly, hold front foot. Wait. Front foot, wait, go.
The room coach will be feeling pretty good about things at this point.
Tilly, Jake, up and square.
Coaches have dreams, Shane. You might want to fill us in on a stoppage if you have dreams during the week of how matches will unfold as Hunt goes. That one forward for a moment, a long way. Kept alive, an intercept to Billy Smith. Maybe the rugby league gods shine on the Roosters there.
Not quite if you have dreams or nightmares.
Good answer. Good answer. Lodge with the ball short of halfway.
Wait, let him up now. Jacob, got a hold, get square. Go, Jack, not square, Jack.
Stalking the touchline, but has no interchange card in his hand. He won't be on.
Ben, move! Back to me here, that's it, Junior. Go,
Brown
3.
and Butcher into the game, but no Brandon Smith. Tupanua's head rocks back there. Sewer lobbed up on the left-hand side of the field there. Of the Dragons' defence, they can't knock on. Oh, they're celebrating again, the Dragons.
Scrum. Where do you want the feed, Ben?
And it's really noticeable that Dragons' first contact for the first 20-plus minutes here has been outstanding. And just celebrating the little wins. As soon as we saw there, they forced the error. Every Dragons player into the centre, celebrating that little win.
And Andrew, what a moment for Nathan Brown, a club debut for the Roosters. Not much NRL over the last 12 months, but he played 25 minutes for the Eels in the grand final, and tonight returns to the NRL for the first time this year.
Clock's off. There we go. Hold the way there, Nate. That's it. Head in.
1,216. 1,216th player to play first grade for one of our foundation clubs.
Square on the left, Jake.
Angus Crichton was warming up a moment ago as well. It's heavy artillery to have on the bench, but how much longer can you wait at 12-0 and the side spluttering? I know you have a strategy before the game, but they need... Oh, this time Murdoch-Masilla puts it down. Unforced by the Dragons, deflating.
Scrums here. Middle, yeah. Clock's
on.
On.
They've been so good
guys.
coming out of the round and getting to their kick. They just give them really good field position now here, the Roosters.
Make sure we work it in here, guys. Very close to that last one again.
You get through 25 minutes and you haven't seen Brandon Smith come
15
on.
seconds, let's form up.
So he can't even play his season average of minutes as a result. He's averaged 58 minutes a game.
Jaden, arm over Ben. Thanks, mate. Here we go.
If he was to get on now, well, he's not going to get any longer than 55 minutes a game time. And they're down 12-0. Smith on the run here.
Go.
59 away. Butcher getting them to centre field. The Butcher brothers combining there.
Toby, Jack. Here we are,
Reason to
Jacob.
have sore shoulders after last week's game, 60 tackles. Hutchison, that's twice he's had a dummy and run.
Move together now. Here we are, Ben.
Quite the speed to convert. Turpin on that right-hand side with Kiri. Sualihi with it. Falling
Stand
in the
together on
tackle
4.
of
Square marker,
Suli.
Moses. Go forward. Good, Jacob.
Malo. And Kiri, bobble, play on. Brown knocked down by the Dragons. Nathan Brown, an error. And the Dragons come away with the ball. What is happening to the Roosters?
And they give a penalty away. There was a little bit of space there on the outside. Ben Hunt rushed up on the outside and they created a bit of space, but the Roosters just couldn't get the ball to the right person. And then the Dragons, just their defence at the moment is just more, it's moving across the park faster. They're working hard for each other, and their first contacts are, you know, really, really good.
Are you in agreement with holding back Brandon Smith for this amount of time? I mean,
Sure.
we're 27 minutes in now.
I'm not sure what the coach's plan is with him, but you would have thought he'd be on at least with 10 minutes to go.
Right, we'll see. Well, they're all back seated at the moment, the Roosters bench. St George Illawarra on the attack, 30 metres away from the line. Little and de Belin.
Release together.
It's been good tonight. Jack de Belin, 20 away from the line. Little will take off, a quick play the ball.
James,
This is pressure. Pressure indeed on the Roosters. Could be a third try for the Dragons coming up. Hunts confronted by Hutchison.
Stand, Billy.
Did enough to stop him there. Jaden Sewer. Curl is on for the Dragons.
Last tackle, Victor.
Play over into this background. Loves this round. Little back inside. Couchman on the last tackle.
Last tackle, just leave it there,
Probably
Toby. It's not going to
entitled
be a
to
quick
think
one.
a little more would
I'll
have
let
been
you
on
know, Nat.
offer.
Just wait.
Yeah, well, Ben Hunt was sitting on the right-hand side, wanted
Here we
the
are, front
football,
foot.
but they thought they'd run it on the last.
Yeah, no tackle.
Over to this left-hand side. It's not a bad place to turn the football over, especially the way the
Up
Dragons
now.
are defending.
Here and half, front
and
foot
their
again.
first contact.
Brandon Smith is up again. We can record on the sideline. He's warming up with Angus Crichton. But we are now 28 minutes into the contest.
Off the legs, Jacob now.
This time, Turpin right with Kiri, Tupanua.
Move together.
Handled by Suli and Talatau Amon there. To centre field, Brown. Butcher into some heavy treatment. Jaden Sewer has been a leader tonight for the Dragons. Lost ball. Oh, the Roosters. Are the Chooks cooked?
Clock's on.
Well, they're playing that way at the moment. Just the attention to detail in some little things. Twice now, getting up to play the football. They come up with errors.
Just here.
Half-time can't come quick enough.
If you mentioned earlier, high drama early in the match with a flare-up on
Guys,
field
up here, boys.
and
Keep
Victor
coming back,
Radley
back.
involved in this altercation. A head
Heads down
nudge,
now.
if you like, on
Heads in.
Blake Laurie.
Clock off.
But
Sit
no
Tilly,
sin
nice and
bin.
tight. Into the back there,
It
Jacob.
took
Stay in,
quite a
James.
delay before he was actually placed on
Break.
report and multiple replays. There's a real flashpoint. Hunter's through for the
Hang on.
Dragons. Kept it alive.
James
Roosters
Corey,
more
move!
pressure. Full set here.
Go on.
20 metres away from the line. Big halftime show coming up with the thoughts of Brandy and Cooper Cronk on what's
Help!
unfolded here.
Release Victor on the mark, Jack.
A fair bit of drama. Little lefts, Kerr straightens,
Play on.
hoping to offload, did offload, Little.
Move together.
Dragons
Even
fans
square.
have found their voice tonight.
Hold the line. Hold. Go three.
Sloan to the right for Hunt. It was a high ball. He's got the kick through. And Smith is
Grand
able
Roosters.
to smother it in goal. Line drop out.
Yeah, beautiful kick from Ben Hunt. Just went to the line. Nice little touch. Gets his side and repeat set.
I didn't think so. I'm doing my best to see it when you got through the tackle. No worries. I'll keep an eye for it, Jacob. Sorry.
That is a look. Just for your thoughts, Brandon Smith. 9.5 away from half-time. Still waiting to come on. He won't come on while they're defending in this set. Illawarra, back he comes with quite a gallop.
Out together.
I'd be kicking to the other side, Vossi.
Wait. Go.
Sage advice from Shane Flanagan. As Kerr takes another run. Dragons, from the moment Sully scored the runaway try, they've played some very good football. Moan back for Sully. Running headlong
Nathan up and square.
at defenders rather than looking for space. Butcher made the tackle. Now Hunt, little show, back for Kerr. Not exactly steaming onto it. 9 metres away from the line. On the play the ball, Little changed his mind there. Hunted and Moan, stepped in front of Tupanua. Dragons on the last tackle. Can Ben Hunt come up with a special kick here? Here he is, 12 metres out. He's looking for Lomax. Lomax goes up. The ball's up a second time.
Got knock on Roosters.
Knock on Roosters, the call. Well, James Tedesco's onside if they want a challenge. He consults Billy Smith. I think their confidence is down on all areas. I don't think they have even the confidence to do a captain's challenge.
Yeah, definitely not at the moment, but it was beautiful play again from Ben Hunt. We just saw the previous set, a nice little kick on the ground, gets his side a repeat set. On this occasion, play the ball on the left-hand side of the field. He knows he's got a jumper in Zach Lomax and lands it straight on the money, and there's a contest, and they get the result.
Hit him
in the ear.
Yeah, appreciate it, mate. Heads in. Thanks, James. Clock off.
Falcon.
Okay, stay in. Hold there, Brandon. All in, Ben.
Ben Hunt having a laugh at the scrum. And he goes to the right side. He'll be laughing more in a moment if they score here. And a penalty. Well, it's a
back here.
blown penalty here. 12-0 scoreline.
You can repack if you want it.
So they repack, and if they go aside, you get the sin bin, the automatic sin bin. We don't see it played all that often. Now on the tap restart. 7 minutes away from half-time. What an extraordinary night so far for the Dragons. Been a tumultuous week for the club. They've been there before with mid-season exits of coaches. Only once have they managed to win following a change of coach mid-season. Kerr driven back there. Slow play the ball, middle. Light was slow. Hunt goes the kick again. It looked heavy from Hunt. Only just, mind you, it was starting to bend.
In the middle, Corey. With the foot, mate.
But he'll be a little disappointed with that.
Hold the line.
Let's see what difference Smith can make to the Roosters. He'll be itching to have a run at them. Here he is, getting them up and over the 30-metre line.
It's a big ask just for Brandon Smith as well to come on with 6 minutes to go and try and turn things around. Applies more pressure to the individual.
Big breakdown in communication there, gentlemen, because the bench for the Dragons waving frantically, take the two. They tap and went without result.
Yeah, no, you're right, Matty. A full-blown penalty. They need to know the rules as Smith down that left channel and now driven towards the sideline.
Momentum.
There you go, momentum. The call from the referee. Look at the Dragons celebrate again. The red and white fans up on the hill, they love that.
Yeah, it's Zach Lomax back onto his favourite side. His opposition centre just tried to take him on the outside. He gets underneath him and gets some troops to come and help.
Well, Roosters fans, just hang on for the ride here. Got to hang in on the scoreboard, 12-0. It hasn't got any worse, at least, after the two quick tries back-to-back. VB hard-earned index, Jack DePillen has been a real worker
Front foot
tonight.
here, guys. Let's wait for the play the ball.
17 tackles into the bargain from
Stay square there, Victor. Push up,
6
Nathan.
hit-ups.
Play the ball, Terrell.
Dragons with the ball after that forceful effort, taking Smith over the sideline. Trainer on the moment, we're looking at a HIA, trying to get the referee's attention.
Jacob Little, I think it is. Jaden Sullivan coming on.
Stand there. Get square. Hold. Wait on one. Wait, go.
Well, that's odd. I have no idea where the headlock was, and then they just say HIA, and away you go. It wasn't the call of the doctor. Hello. Hang on a second. High is the call from Goff.
You got him higher, Nathan. That's cool.
Nathan Brown has had an unhappy first appearance as a Rooster.
That's why we got a penalty. Have a look at the rest. Have a look at the rest.
It's forceful. I just don't know about the point of contact, I'd say, across the shoulder.
I'm not in there making the decision, Joe.
Yeah, and he's just come back from suspension also.
I didn't see it on
Occurred in
further
the New South Wales.
dealing with everyone coming
It
together.
just adds to the Roosters this first half performance. Just errors playing the football, penalties.
I'm going to say, if the bunker there doesn't say...
Yeah, just
Like,
on
if he's
report.
got him in the head, he's got to be on
Nathan,
report. Yeah,
it's
he
on
has to
report,
be on
mate.
report. Otherwise, there should be
Mark's
no
out.
penalty. So now the
Good to go,
processes follow.
On report.
And again, just improving his relationship with referee Golf. They're getting very chatty. What a night this is. Watch it again.
Here we are. Hold for the tap.
Flies in.
Go.
Where does the arm end up? Is the worry for Nathan Brown. But again,
Egan, that up and square. Hold it
13
at
on
one.
13.
Wait, go.
Neutral observer happy for that to be the case. As Hunt passes here to DeBellin. 32 metres away from
Nathan
the
Victor.
Roosters line.
Hold front foot. Wait, Nat. Go. 2.
Let's see what
On the mark
difference
there, Jack.
Sullivan can make as well. Can he get a bit of that magic round form on show here tonight? Just the 20 minutes last week against the Cowboys. Show the ball from Amon, picking up DeBellin. Right in front of the Roosters posts. Sullivan, right side, Hunts, switch of play, ducking and weaving, and offloading. Amon will do the same. Now Sloan skipping. The Roosters defence, equal to the challenge there. Last play, St George Illawarra. Sully and Fionney want a kick coming their way. It's DeBellin across to Hunt. He steadies, he throws high and hard. It ends up with Fionney on the last. The Dragons are all over the place. Then an obstruction at the end of it. Yeah, that was a shambles.
Runs behind him. Mark's here. Just wait for Victor.
Yeah, it was a poor set in by the Dragons. They shifted over this left edge. Ben Hunt was playing the football.
Front foot on the line here.
They just
front
need to be
foot,
good
wait
for
the
this
tap.
last
Hold.
2.5 minutes. Don't
Actually,
leak
hold
points.
David.
It'll be a great start for the new coach.
So I know the Dragons maybe just a couple of good defensive
Just shade
sets
it up and
away from
square.
condemning
Hold
the
in there,
Roosters
wait,
to 3
wait,
straight
wait.
games with scoreless first halves.
Jaden out
Game 3
together.
of the Indigenous round tonight on Fox League. South Sydney and Parramatta lock horns. As Kieran floats across field, what is the likes of Latrell Mitchell,
Here we are, Jaden. Hold there.
Alex
Wait.
Johnston and Cody Walker and co got in store for us tonight with the Red Hot Rabbits. And so Parramatta bring their A game. We're in for good entertainment tonight on Fox League.
Up and square now, Toby. Hold on the left here.
Roosters
Hold
30
front
away
foot,
from the
Jack.
line.
Go. 2.
Smith, now Radley,
That's right.
and Hutchison to Tupanua.
Ben Jackson. Back and hold. Wait. Wait
Plenty
front
of
foot.
tackles here left for the Roosters. Smith, Radley, then on Keary, dummy and run. Weaves through and cut down.
Now, Jaden.
Grabbing tackle from behind from Sullivan. Play on with Tedesco. Back towards the post. Hutchison. There's only 2 on the right. Suolihi with the ball. Pop and skip. Suoli, good tackle, one-on-one.
Hold the
Last
line,
tackle,
hold, go.
Roosters.
Hold, go. Last
Jackson
tackle.
Balo. Oh boy, what a pass on the last. Well, he's got it a long way, but if you're trying to find a kicker, Egan Butcher wasn't
Leave
it?
it on the ground there, Egan.
No, he definitely wasn't in. It was a poor set in from the Roosters.
Go.
James
No
Tedesco
tackles.
absolutely filthy in the middle part of the field. They had good shape. They just needed to get that
Held.
pass to the right person.
Release now on the marks to Tilly all the way.
But it just shows the way the Roosters are playing at the moment. They need to get to the sheds.
One of the worst dummy half passes I think you ever seen. Back in the old
Stay square to Tilly.
controversy corner, Rex Moss had passed the ball days. That would have taken out a light in the studio. Wouldn't have hit the board.
Stand out
The
to Tilly
Dragons
all
with
the
the
way.
ball on
Let's
their
hold.
30-metre line. Extraordinary play. You saw the frustration of Trent Robinson. No poker face from Trent in reaction to that play.
Square now on 4. Hold. All the way there, Brandon.
Sullivan. Moan, dummy and run with speed, support everywhere, and he doesn't find them. They needed a beacon or send up a flare. Now the Roosters bring it back,
Knock
but the
on
referee's
first.
whistle has
Into a
gone.
forward pass. No advantage.
So knock
Roosters
on
feed.
there.
Dragons
into a
knock on, but that forward pass can't play on.
Yeah, I can understand the young 5'8's mindset here. He's got one of the fastest men in the team just looming up on his outside, but he wasn't expecting it so early. He thought he was going to draw and pass, and that would have been a big try going into half-time.
Sure would have been. What a first half. What a week for the Dragons. Trying to finish it with a win. Ryan Carr, first night as head coach. Drama in the first half involving Victor Radley. Half-time, it is St George Illawarra 12, leading the Sydney Roosters 0. Here we go, second half on Fox League on a Friday night. Rabbitohs and Eels to come up later. This is the place to watch your rugby league. A Super Saturday tomorrow that will finish with an absolute cracker. The Storm and the Dolphins at Suncorp tomorrow night, exclusive to Fox League. On a day we go to Coffs Harbour and Leichhardt into Suncorp. That's heaven for rugby league fans on a Saturday on Fox League. So Dragons with the ball to start the second half. I hope the non-decision to go for goal doesn't come back to bite them for their sake. Referee gave them the option of repacking the scrum without stressing the point they could go for goal, which is what the bench wanted, and potentially a 14-0 lead. Last play here. So Little's okay after the mystery HIA in the first half. And the Roosters will get the ball back from the kick. Some extraordinary numbers about James Tedesco, who failed to run 100 metres last week, failed to get a tackle bust. We've got him down for only 2 carries in the first half.
Yeah, amazing. He just can't get his hands on the football, and obviously the Roosters haven't had a lot of try-line attack. They had a few sets very, very early in the first half, but apart from that, no good field position at all.
Here they are with ball inside their 30. And short side raid, right on cue, Tedesco. It's captain on captain there. Hutchison back in field, Radley, Butcher, hit and spin. Last tackle Roosters. Smith switches them back for a Hutchison kick for placement to the corner. Ravalawa underneath it. Reminding you he has scored in the last 4 matches, so a Ravalawa try would be very handy second half. As the Dragons bring it away from their own 20, let's go down to the sideline. Matt Russell with a half-time report.
As we've seen, Jacob Little has passed his HIA, Andrew, back out there to start the second half. Ryan Carr has kept things really simple this week, and it continued at half-time. He said the only way you're going to win this game is to continue to out-compete the Roosters, do it for 80 minutes. As for Trent Robinson, he tried to lift his team. Don't be disappointed, you're only down 12-0. One of their tries came from an intercept. It becomes about field position for us. Kick chase has to be really good and be disciplined coming out of yardage.
Again here on the right. Up to lane, Brandon.
The second half, and they go set for set, the two sides. Hunt's kick, Tedesco with it. Chance to run the ball back. Tedesco.
Jaden Jack, release.
And Lomax. Sewer's hurt here. He's in trouble. Jaden Sewer for the Dragons. Swinging to the trainer.
Toby Jacob.
Roosters with the ball 5 metres inside their own half. Let's hope it's just a burner there for Sewer, who's been very good tonight. Into the Dragons half go the Roosters. So Smith stayed off for the first 30 minutes of the game. And they get on the front foot here. Tedesco is getting more touches of the ball. Doesn't find support. Tupanua was on his way to the try line if he got it. 20 away, last tackle. Kiri, kick right across the face. Smith is there, so is Allen. Allen knocks it back over his head. It's knocked back a second time. Smith has ended up with it. Back. And end of set.
Wait. Front foot here, guys. Go.
He was deliberately knocked over, wasn't it, over the head? Well, no, it's off his head.
Off the back of his head.
It wasn't deliberate at all. It's another Falcon tonight. I wonder Trent Robinson was shaking his head.
Yeah, and it was where the kick landed. The Dragons, no one actually went for the football. It landed 10 metres out, and they knew that they didn't have to contest it. They just let the Roosters have a go at it.
It's 10 metres out. It's about 9 metres away from where it needs to land.
Go for it, marker.
We saw a smiling Dragons bench early. No smiles on the Roosters bench. Sloan was almost away.
Go.
Can he light it up the second half like he did on Anzac Day on a huge stage?
Josh.
Tedesco underneath it with the ball. So he's made a recovery.
Release now.
and makes the tackle on Tedesco. Kiri, cross, Uli'i caught. Brilliant tackle by Fiona. Now Kiri, Jackson Barlow with it for the Roosters. 25 away from their own line. Of course, they're not out of the game. One try, and we could potentially be looking at 6 the difference. But remembering, the Roosters have only scored 2 tries in the past 2 weeks. Kiri with it. Sulihi now. With a little bit of swerving up to halfway. He's had 7 runs of the football tonight. Hutchison, again kicking for placement. And they're across to intercept it. And a nice exchange at the back. And the Dragons back with the ball. So again, set for set. Molo gets ready to come back into the game for the Dragons. He'll replace Kerr.
It's just where the Dragons are turning over the football. They've been really disciplined coming out of their end and getting to the kick. And then they make the Roosters come off their try line, set after set.
Just some team news on our second game tonight, Parramatta and South Sydney. No late changes to the 17. Within the 17, South Sydney will elect to start the game with Jai Arrow, who obviously is in the origin conversation for Queensland. Sully with the ball. It's going to be a big one tonight. Pressure on Parramatta, just like the Roosters. And the Rabbitohs top of the table. They could get breathing space after the defeat of the Broncos. Oh, Alan, there was a collision between Smith and Lomax.
Comes across the line.
There you go, penalty Dragons. They can go for goal if they want this time. There'll be no confusion.
Well, you're entitled to challenge it if you wish. James, quickly. Over, mate.
Courage, Tedesco, if you want to lodge a complaint. And yes, they will go for goal.
Yeah, it's one of those ones where, as a coaching point of view, we want our players to get back and project that catch zone. But on that occasion, the Roosters players changed direction. And Zach Lomax, chasing really hard down on the kick, earns his side a penalty, and they're going to take the kick for goal. As you said, Vossi, we were concerned in the first half from that scrum penalty that they didn't take it, the skip 8 to 14. On this occasion, a quick message from the bench, and they're taking the 2 points.
Again, just in case for our viewers not aware of the tweaking of the rule during the off-season, that they are full-blown penalties for offside from a scrum. But what happened was, it was almost like a leading question from referee Goff. He said you can repack the scrum, which existed pre this year, and then if you get a penalty again, it's an automatic sin binning. So there is a roll of the dice and advantage, but all the Dragons bench were take the 2, and let's go 14 in front. So belatedly, they get the shot to go outside a 2 converted try lead. Lomax is successful. Happy for Zach. He is 3 from 3 tonight. Back in first grade. Has to be happy with that. 14-0 the Dragons. And Indigenous round, the theme this year, moving forward together. The call to action points. Learn the land, learn the history, use your voice. And Rugby League has a role to play and always has. And it unites and brings people together of all backgrounds. And we get the pleasure of reveling in watching these wonderful athletes. We don't care about where they come from, their past, their family history, from all parts of the world, but we're proud of the Indigenous history of athletes playing rugby league, both men and women. And we're seeing it again in this round 12 of the NRL. It's a great round of football, great time to celebrate our sport. All across for Murdoch Masilla. 15 metres inside their own half. The Dragons.
Ben, don't hold the jersey.
I will tempt fate with the commentator's curse, but their handling's okay. Sewell with it. Driven there.
Stand now. Square Billy.
All okay, the tackle by Billy Smith.
Hold the side there, Brandon. Go for it.
Little, short-side. Hunt puts it down. There it goes.
Zero coming.
What was that?
Ben Hunt release.
They've been really disciplined, the Dragons. That's the first error coming out of their end. Ben Hunt just overran the football. Saw a bit of an opportunity down the short side. The pass was a little bit behind him. Now the Roosters are getting into good field position.
Crichton gets his first football of the night, replacing Victor Radley. So Crichton comes into the game through 50 minutes. And here he is with the ball. 14-0. Roosters comeback needs to start somewhere. Keary for Hutchison. He's threatened, but again, doesn't quite have the speed to get him through the gap. Smith, left side. Keary, nice hands. Oh, flying tackle. Lomax saves a try. Got to Butcher. Smith goes high. The Dragons' defence breaks down, and Tedesco jumps high and then falls over to score the try.
Yeah, it was Brandon Smith. The Dragons players are appealing for a forward pass, but the touch was in really good position. The pass goes high. As we watch the replay, Brandon Smith jumps out, sees some space. It's flat at least. And James Tedesco gets himself a try and gets his Roosters side somewhat back into the game.
He's almost surprised at the way the try unfolded. And I stand by the call. He jumped high and then fell over.
Yeah, well, I think he was anticipating a kick from Brandon Smith. Brandon Smith did come out and kick because he was leading really hard at the middle of the post or near the post. It was more of a kick lead run from James Tedesco, but he finds him with a pass.
So there he has it. I'm none the wiser on the pass. You're right about it. It's certainly no better than flat. It couldn't possibly be backwards from where Smith was throwing the ball from dummy half. He does take a step forward, but we'd need cameras on every metre of the field to make a definitive ruling, I reckon, on that one.
This is where the Dragons just need to stay strong mentally. They've been really physically, they've dominated the Roosters, dominated field position. When they carried the ball, they've been strong. Just on the back of that Ben Hunt, that short side area, gifted them field position. Just kick into corners, dominate field position.
Tedesco, 2 runs in the first 40 minutes, 5 in the first 11 of the second half. And leading the way, Crichton back from the kickoff.
Jacob Francis!
Good for the Roosters. Smith now.
Jacob off the ball.
This is a big set. What happens here? As you say, Dragons, hold your nerve. But let's see if it flicks the switch for the Roosters like it did for the Dragons when they got their first try. This is the run back at Crichton from the kickoff. I suppose the challenge okay. Kick goes long. Sloan back with it for St George. Illawarra chases all there. And Sloan is going nowhere, except back towards his goal line.
Hold, wait!
Brandon Smith, an early kick in good field position. Was inside the 40-metre line, tried the 40-20. But all his teammates knew the kick was on, so it was a really good chase.
2 good shots from the Roosters, and the Dragons still inside their 10. Make it 3 good shots. This is heavy work from the Roosters and heavy work for the Dragons to get out of that red line area. Olo on that charge, play number 4. So definite momentum with the Roosters at the moment. Sewer does really well. Post-contact meters takes them up to the 40. That was a set-saving run. And Hunt with a kick to Tedesco. Can he beat a man? Can he get across and find space on that right? Not quite.
Get square, Junior, push up.
Play one is on the 30. Oh, Sewer doesn't get Jackson Barlow. It looked dramatic.
Toby Francis.
He's played a real role of enforcer tonight, Jaden Sewer. Watch it on the replay box. Bang, inside on. Attacker did just as much damage to the defender as the defender did to the attacker. Now, oh, beautiful play. Brown, and this is Tedesco, jinking, weaving, stepping. Back for Kerry. Cut down from behind, still gets it down. The Roosters have their second try. We get to see Fred Robinson's teeth for the first time tonight.
Thanks, Davey.
And they're back, just like that. And Nathan Brown has a moment here for the Roosters.
Yeah, it was beautiful play by the big fella. He came out of the line defensively and actually missed a tackle earlier, but on this occasion, he isolates Jack de Belin, who's been out in the football field for a long time, just chases him, and then he's got the speed of Tedesco back inside, and then he was just waiting for someone to turn up, and his little 5'8" turned up, and the momentum just gets him there. The Roosters back to back and back into this football game.
That's some of their best attack of the last few weeks right there. The ball of Brown, Tedesco pushing up.
Brandon Smith on the 30-metre line, getting treatment on what looks like to be a hand injury.
Yeah, it looked, I don't think it was dislocated finger they were working on. There's the reaction of the Roosters. They've come out of hibernation there, if Roosters do hibernate. Have to Google that. Suolihi with a conversion, 14-12. What a start to our Friday night double here on Fox League.
Is it starting to come together for the Roosters, Andrew? Nathan Brown, beautiful little ball. We know his ball-playing ability, and there it is, just unlocking James Tedesco a little bit more in this second half. Keary always sniffing around and sliding over on this damp surface for the try. Only one road win for the Roosters so far this season. That was at Mount Smart Stadium in New Zealand. Another low-scoring game, and what sort of finish does that man have in store? Nathan Brown back in the NRL tonight and set for more passes like that.
So the Roosters, same again. Crichton's ready to rumble. Here he goes. Crichton to bring it back. This turnaround, this is a Tedesco-led recovery. Don't worry about that. 2 runs for 29 metres in the first half. Since half-time, 7 runs, 104 metres, 6 tackle busts, couple of line breaks, and a 4-pointer as well.
Yeah, what a massive turnaround, and exactly what the Roosters needed.
Now Brown with it. Offload, Keary. Roosters again, floated over the top. Dragons defence at full stretch. Bolo cutting a path through the defenders.
Stand there!
It is all red, white and blue at the moment. Keary and Butcher on the spin. The Dragons will do well just to hang on to this set. Last tackle play. They are desperate for the ball, and Butcher loses it. Go to your captain. Go to your captain if you want a challenge.
Where do we want the scrum here? Clock's on, Ben. Middle. Way too late.
Way too late. Whoa!
Mark's here.
Did Tedesco actually try and get challenge in there, and referee Goff says way too late?
Make sure we start the full
I
mark
think
here,
he was
guys.
watching the replay on the big screen, and it was just too late. But just looking at the Dragons' middle forwards, a lot of them are out on their feet. Ben Murdoch's at Masilla, Blake Laurie's just come back on. But Jack de Belin also been on for a long period of time, and defensively just struggling a little bit at the moment.
Nice and tight. Stay in at the back there. Hold, ball in.
14-12, St George Illawarra in this second match of Indigenous round in the NRL.
Stand together. Here and hold now. Wait, go one.
Now that the penalty goal is massive. Thank heavens for the Dragons' sake. First half declined an opportunity. And getting it after half-time, that's all that is the difference between the two sides.
Now Butcher off the ball. Brandon got a hold, go.
So Little, de Belin. Certainly not the energy in the Dragons at the moment that we saw for most of the first half. Hunt on the right, goes inside for Laurie. Caught by Brown, offloaded to Belin. Now there's overlap. Amanda Murdoch-Masilla, support on his outside, doesn't pass. Driven into the turf by Tupanua. Nice tackle. This time it's the Dragons who lose the ball.
Knock on. Got a scrub.
Ryan Carr is quickly learning a little bit about the coaching roller coaster.
Yeah, it's so frustrating as a coach. Fantastic run down that side. Probably should have chose to pass to his outside man, and then just gets up, rushes to play the ball. Take your time.
It's a horror.
All the Dragons needed was to play the ball. They didn't need a quick one there.
10 seconds, guys. Heads in.
Was not a play the ball.
5 seconds.
It was an abomination. Sullivan gets ready to come back on for the second time tonight.
Here we go, Luke.
Roosters off the scrum win. Next scorer in this match is very important to the Roosters. Suddenly all the momentum with them. Whereas the Dragons would be trying to douse the fire a little of the Roosters.
Hold! Up together, we're behind the line. Hold.
On their own 20.
Hold. Go to. Good,
Smith.
Blake, you're good.
Crichton. He's brought energy to the performance since coming on. Now Smith. Nathan Brown has picked things up after a mixed start, mostly bad to be honest. But he's come good. Now Smith on to Keary. Roosters on the front foot. Tupanua loses the ball. Roosters don't quite get it together.
Yeah.
Tupanua.
And it was that man Moses Sully again, just come outside,
Scrum,
inside on it.
Scrum
Really
line,
good
clock's on here,
contact.
guys.
Just
Press
underneath
here,
the
Blake.
football.
Just back here.
He's had a whale of a game.
Thanks, Nate.
Yeah, big lift on last week. Well done, Moses Sully.
Boys, scrum's here.
As we said earlier, he was good Anzac Day against the Roosters as well. That was such a good performance that
15
day and only
seconds.
lost by the point.
Come together.
But since then, not
Nice
good.
and tight. Matt, just arm over Jack there. Thanks, you. Head in. Okay, clock off.
14 plays
Keep
12.
going, Junior. Break.
It's a
Don't
nervous
hold him in
crowd
there,
now,
Frank.
this is Illawarra fans, when you've lost half a dozen games in your season. Little going off for the Dragons. Sullivan into the game. DeBellin delivering short there for Molo. Dragons 2 and 8, the 8 defeats, the 6 in a row. It's been lean. DeBellin to play it, 33 metres away from the line. Now Sullivan, left side, Amon, cut out ball, Suli. The tackle of Suolihi. Dragons into the Roosters 20, they go. Now lined up on the right, DeBellin to Hunt, they keep it going. Sloan, then Sewer running back. Infield, Roosters read it. Last play, Dragons. Hunt signals kick out for left wing. Short side raid, Sullivan, Lomax. Well, they defied the captain, Sullivan, with that play. And the Roosters have possession.
Yeah, it was a silly play by the young. He's a halfback, but he's in at hooker at the moment. He chose to come down this right-hand side. Should have gone to his halfback and captain. He would have got the right kick on the end.
Come back over. No,
Well,
back there.
This is
You come back
a very
over and knock the ball
interesting
out.
change. The Roosters, Brandon Smith
Hand in.
has just come from the field. Matty Russell will
Onside here,
check if
guys.
there's an injury.
Not
So
over mark there, Drew. Thank you.
he didn't
Thank
play
you.
the first 30 minutes of the game. And now comes off
Behind the
21
line, you
minutes into the
guys.
second half.
Half for the tap. Wait.
Good chance he'll play less than 40 minutes tonight.
There's a good chance we won't even see him again tonight. He doesn't look like he's moving that well. I know he's only walking up the sideline, and he got some treatment for a hand injury after the last try.
Collins back on and straight into the action. 14-12. Inside the final 19 now. But golden point to finish the week for the Dragons. Keary dummy, Hayes through, takes on Sloan, goes all the way. It's a double to the Rooster in the headgear, Luke Keary. And the Roosters hit the front for the first time tonight.
Well, when you're under the pump, you need your big guns to stand up. And Luke Keary's exactly that. He's a class footballer. He hasn't been in form, and he'll tell you that. Just a beautiful show. Gets his opposite number, Junior Amon, to slide out, and then has enough speed to get around a flyer in Sloan and just finishes. It's a real individual try. Exactly what the Roosters needed from their skipper. Oh, he's not their skipper, but he's definitely one of their leaders.
Yeah, 100% he is. And the missed tackle in the front line, the dummy, Amon, beaten badly. The old 5'8" fools the rookie.
The thing that, if we get to see that replay again, is that he identifies that Blake Laurie has travelled across to the short side. And Blake Laurie is a middle forward, a big man, and he just challenges him for speed. He goes straight at him, then goes around and throws the dummy, and the halfback slides off, and the big middle forward just couldn't foot it with him.
Wow, what a night. Dragons now. They've been silenced here. Mr. Wibby's not selling so many ice creams down the southern end all of a sudden. The Dragons are behind on the board. Suolihi with a kick, right across the face. And not the strength either. 2 points the difference. Roosters 16, Dragons 14.
Luke Keary gets his second double of the year, Andrew. 2 tries in a round 5 win against Parramatta. Will it be 2 tries or more in a round 12 win against St George Illawarra? Still some ground to go. You go back to Coach Robinson at half-time, really calm, lifting his team, and this man has a concern over his thumb. He's lost feeling in his thumb. They're unsure if there's a fracture or what the problem might be, but that explains the limited minutes, the early removal of Brandon Smith in his second half.
And he ain't coming back. Bandaging getting removed. Brandon Smith's night is over, and that's disappointing. Hello, Laurie. He ended up on his belly. Roosters with the ball, 17 metres away from their own line. But in front for the first time tonight. And it's as if the energy that's been taken out of the Dragons' performance has also taken the wind out of the supporters. They're looking elsewhere. They're scrolling through their phones now all of a sudden. Here at Netstrata Jubilee, Tedesco putting on a bit of a show in the second half. Almost back to halfway. Turpin, left side, Crichton up to the line. Hutchison almost away. Picking holes in the Dragons' defence. Keary bomb from 40 metres out. Challenge was okay. Chases there, almost lost. It almost doesn't count. Fiona comes up with the ball.
And the Dragons, they just need to stay in the fight here. It's just
Nathan, let him up.
there, the Roosters got to their kick.
Wait.
The Dragons need to do exactly the same thing, and then someone needs to break. And hopefully for the Dragons' sake, it's the Roosters, and they can gift them some field position, because then Ben Hunt comes into the football game.
Haven't scored since the 13th minute. Latrell Mitchell warming up. Gee, if he throws one of those passes tonight, what a beauty. In the warm-up, South Sydney and Parramatta. Game 3 of Indigenous round, live here on Fox League, the only place where you see it ad-free during play. The only place you get to see both matches on a Friday night. Hunt's bomb. It'll be a challenge. Lomax and Allen, and play on Roosters.
Here and hold. Wait. Go 0.
So Tedesco. And Allen with the ball. 16 plays 14. This was a good challenge for him. Good to see. By the way, the Roosters looking to maintain this advantage outside of Anzac Day. Last time the Dragons won a regular season game outside of Anzac Day against the Roosters was August 2010. That's 13 years ago. Ball with Brown. And offload, late one. Tedesco, there's trouble. Tedesco beats a couple. He turned Molo inside out. 25 from the line. Turpin, right side, Keary goes long. The check to catch the ball.
Last tackle, Moses.
That's where the play breaks down, 15 metres away. Sluggish play the ball too. Keary on the last. He's got it on a string. He hits the upright padding. Good reactions. If that's not taken by Sloan, it may have been yet another Roosters try.
Just wait, clock's on.
Yeah, real good awareness by Tyrell Sloan, just chasing back. Probably knew the kick was going to hit the post.
Stay on side.
Great anticipation.
Stay behind. Stay
Ben
on
Hunt
NJ.
covering around the back for him.
And that one, they found space from the line dropout. The Roosters failing to have it covered there. No great damage done, but they are coming back from their side of halfway.
Ben, Jack.
By the way, second round of the USPGA Championship ahead of us tonight. Channel 503, 11:30. Coverage starts of round number 2. Hop on the Adam Scott bus this weekend at the Golf. Jason Day, a winner on tour last weekend. Why not a win in the majors to Adam Scott? He's in the hunt. Now Turpin, right side, Keary, inside Brown, another offload, good play. Turpin kept going. Tedesco ends up with it, jumping about in front of the defence. They look the more likely to score again, the Roosters. Turpin to Brown, getting more involved. Keary, lovely play, lovely hands. Smith onto Allen, back inside. Hutchison can't roll over the top of Sloan and Hunt's last tackle, and a dummy hold, and over the sideline, into the corner posts. Goes Billy Smith.
Play the ball. Into touch first. Play the ball.
Says into touch
Anyone
first.
play the ball,
I'd
Ben?
probably question
Play
that.
the ball. Play the ball.
Here you have it.
Well, a big tackle by Tyrell Sloan on the previous play. The ball needed to be made on Drew Hutchison. He's been criticised for his defence, but comes up with a big tackle, and then they just get troops there. Probably a little bit greedy to go to that short side. The Roosters had good shape right out to the other side of the field, and they definitely wanted the football to go there.
Game still wide open with 12 minutes to go. 16-14. Look, I'll take this point to give a shout out to Anthony Griffin, and he's a rugby league man from head to toe. He would be watching tonight with mixed feelings, but no one likes to see a coach lose their job. Anthony, I hope you're doing well, and that you're not lost to rugby league. A great rugby league man, but it would be a tough night. It's been a tough week. Dragons now outside their 30. Lomax lost his boot on the previous play. He's in the process of putting it back on. He suddenly had to scramble to try and get in support.
And he left it back there, 10 metres behind him.
So he's shoeless Joe at the moment. Hunt's kick along the deck. Roosters, though, the 2-point advantage. And Barlow in a centre position there. Suolihi moved to outside of him. He'll take the next carry. Joseph. Oh, that could be a big error. Just about to say, Suolihi moved to centres. It's like he can't bust a tackle, but he's on the wing. He's 3 and 4 a game. Tonight again, hasn't found a way through.
Yeah, it's just one of these things, an offload. Keary was standing flat-footed and the ball just didn't reach him. A catch under pressure, and now the Dragons, first time this half they've had good field position. Ben Hunt will come into play. Hopefully he'll run this set. Sloan to get the football with his speed against tiring defence.
Yeah, Blake Lawrie had that hand issue in the first half. He was able to get back on the field, but it looks like his night is done now. We'll update that. In fact, word just coming through now that they fear a fractured hand for Blake Lawrie, so a big setback for the Dragons.
Okay, Matt Russell with all the news on the sideline. And of course, big post-match show tonight as well. We'll have a full injury wrap. Right now, the focus is on the Dragons, looking to regain the lead. Little show across to the straight runner, Sewer. Moan looking to put something on there. Now the Dragons fans get a little more excited. It's been a while since they've had a set here. They're only 4 metres away from the line. Offload. Sullivan just caught in the tackle of Crichton. Almost right on the line. Hunts, the Bellin, set left. Moan decides to kick. He's got it hard. That is a disastrous play. On tackle
with the
4,
foot in the middle.
Talatau, a Moan heavy boot.
Yep.
And straight away, the Roosters back with Allen.
Release!
Hoping for the Dragons' sake, not their last chance. With 9.5 to go.
Up now, Jaden. On one. Hold it.
Unable to get any more than one set. Restart tonight. Oh, Billy boy. What happened there? A second mistake, Roosters inside their half.
Yeah, well, if you keep inviting teams down your end with gift errors or penalties like they are at the moment, the Roosters, they're going to come undone. Scrum middle field, 40 metres out. I'm sure Ben Hunt would have got to his too young, his fullback and his 5'8", and just calm them down. Play smart, get me the football.
One coach is 268 games into his career, the other's in his first night. The stress levels are no different between the two boxers, even with all that experience. Play the ball like that. Suddenly you got the shakes. Lomax with it for the Dragons. 29 metres away from the Roosters line. Sullivan, Hunts, and then for Kerr. No offload that time. On the red line, Roosters end. Sullivan, de Bellin, Amone, and then Sloan dumping it off for Murdoch-Basila. I wouldn't mind seeing Sullivan in the halves, maybe. Maybe Amone could go into dummy half for a bit. Sullivan just in a passing role. There's still a chance, though. The Dragons 8 away from the line on play number 5. Right side, Hunt rebalances, Lomax. The defence holding on for the Roosters. Last tackle, they go short side. Jaden Sewer, a powerful force on that. An unstoppable force right there. And the rookie coach loves it. You can't score a try on any suburban ground. closer to the crowd than right there at Cogra.
And it's that man, Ben Hunt, and his back row who has been outstanding. It's a little set play. Ben Hunt shows, makes the Roosters defend, makes a call. They get off their line, and he just delays his pass to his big back rower. He's been outstanding all night, and he gets it down.
Hang on. Are you locking that in, Eddie?
No, I'm not locking it in.
I don't know. Sideline official pointing. Nothing is confirmed as yet. Jaden Sewer, forceful, right in front of the camera. Look at referee Goff, he's right there. He has an unobstructed view of it. That's not downward pressure, that's downward pressure with the chin. My first reaction is no try. I've got to be honest, sorry Dragons fans, not that my opinion means anything at this point.
No, I think he loses after it comes in contact with the ground.
I value your opinion more, Shane. Referee Goff waiting for instruction. James Tedesco coming out to question. And we wait, and here it goes. All righty.
Bunker review, just looking impossible, knock on the ground.
You sure you want the coaching gig, Ryan? Are you sure you want to go through this every week?
Yeah, I understand that. I understand that. That's what they're...
Even if it's
still on,
he has to regain control.
Yeah.
Just looking to see if Jaden Sewer maintains possession.
It is entirely in the hands of video referee Chris Butler, unless referee Goff wants to have some input.
Yes.
Adam G style.
At this point, he's still got his hand on the ball. At this point here, the ball is on the ground. There's no clear separation, and his hand still maintains possession. We have a decision.
They are giving it a try. James Tedesco telling referee Goff, you know, you can sway him. Not tonight. Not tonight. The Dragons are back in front. The Dragons are back in front. And Lomax to kick from 4 in from touch. Take your time, Zach. Your team lead by 2. He hasn't missed tonight. Here he goes, Lomax, right to left, a little too much. 18 plays 16. What a thriller with 6 to go.
Well, the first 6 or 7 minutes were outstanding. Some of the contact and a few of the run from both sides. And buckle up for this next 6 minutes because it's going to be exciting football. The Roosters have got a chance there.
Make sure we stay on side here, guys.
The Dragons, they're just got to play field position, get to their kick.
Parramatta, South Sydney, next up on Fox League.
Stay on side here, guys.
We might have to go longer than 6 minutes to decide this one. Loving the shots we're getting from the Dragons coach's box tonight. High kick-off. Man down, Roosters have it. Dragons fans blow up. But Roosters end up with the ball. All the Dragons fans are up, saying, how did that player end up on the deck? Butcher with the ball. Inside the final 6. 18-16. Interesting penalty call here. Would you shoot for 18 all from a long way out?
Up together on one.
Well, you'd have to, especially if you're the Roosters, and just chance your arm.
Suolihi, first choice kicker, remember. Yet to really grab any headlines as a goal kicker. Crichton's been good for the Roosters. Early in this count, Bradley back on, trying to steer his team through. Collins, good run. 20 away from the line. Now Turpin. And Radley again. Keary on the right side. Tedesco changes direction. Got him past one. Nolan's had some defensive moments in the second half. Keary, Roosters lined up. Radley, Hutchison juggle and thrown down by Lomax.
Last tackle.
Last tackle Roosters.
Go last.
Turpin for Keary. A bomb, he'll look for Suolihi. He gets through, but Suolihi is stripped of the ball. Tedesco comes up with it and scores, and no one can take it off. Teddy, what a play. Blink and you miss it, and the Roosters are back in front.
Well, I was just about to say the kick wasn't high enough. The Roosters players couldn't get in and contest it. They hit the deck, and it's a one-on-one steal, I believe. As we watch the kick, I thought it was a bit short and wasn't high enough to be contested. Sully comes up with it, but Tedesco, the awareness and just a quick reaction, knew he was one-on-one. He had one chance at it, and he just went mine.
That's the quickest ball steal in the history of the game, in the history of the rule.
What a second half James Tedesco's had.
Did he grab his watch and his wallet as well? What about that, James Tedesco? Couple of tries, remarkable from James Tedesco. What about the package we are getting from the coaches tonight? There's no poker face. They are riding this game.
Well, it goes back to this kickoff. Was there a push on the kickoff?
Well, good point.
Yeah, James Tedesco's stats there, an enormous effort. We had him only for 2 carries in the first half for 29 metres, and he's turned it on. The old James Tedesco's back.
2018. And of course, 2-point field goal remains in the mix if he misses this. Suolihi, the kick from Joseph, successful, margin 4. Forget about the 2-point field goal. Roosters up by 2, 22-18.
Tonight all about the coaches in so many ways, Andrew. Great to see the theatre unfolding upstairs. Look at this from Trent Robinson. Last time I can remember seeing that was a big semi-final, I think, at Penrith. He's out of his chair and he knows that his team has won its last 35 games with scoring 20 or more. Well, there they are with 22, leading the Dragons by 4 with 4 and a bit to play.
What about the irony of the shot as we see Parramatta warming up? Jason Riles celebrating. I mean, he's the coach in waiting for the Dragons. Maybe for the next 5 years. From the kickoff, cartwheels mid-air. Roosters end up with the ball.
Release now.
Wow, that's an interesting one as well. I thought maybe Suolihi might have touched that football, but the Roosters gained possession.
Up there, Jaden. Square jack.
4 to go. Dragons trying to win their 3rd match of the season.
Up now, Sullivan.
There it was, ball. Call went the way of the Roosters. Brown with it. And the Roosters, who dropped out of the top 8 last week, sitting 5-5. At least they've posted more than 20 points tonight. Crichton held up there by Lomax. Last tackle, Roosters. Hutchison, left foot kick, right to the corner. Got it over the head. It's a great kick by Hutchison. Ravalawa has only just stayed in advance of the in-goal area. So now they have, needs to step over the ball. He stepped over the ball. Who wants to get it? What on earth is going on there?
Wait, go.
Someone pick it up. Don't leave it to the chance of penalty. Dragons with it, 8 metres away from their own line. They only have a few more sets to play with the ball. A dummy and run, but it's a long way to go. Hunt claims he was caught high. No one's listening. Dragons with it. DeBellin now. Bringing the ball back up. Offload, kept alive. Now Sullivan. Sewer a chance. Down the right for Lomax. Scramble defence. Hutchison there.
Last tackle, Drew.
Last tackle, Dragons. Do they kick or do they chance their arm? Hunter's going to kick. Spiralling bomb across field. Do they have it covered? They do. Sully went flashing through frame. It ended up a really good catch by Jackson Barlow there for the Roosters.
Yeah, it was a big catch. He needed to make that one. The Dragons were coming to get him, but he had to catch it, and he did.
22-18. Now the Dragons, reality sets in. 2 minutes away from a 7th straight defeat. Bradley with it. Closed down there, just a few metres short of halfway. He's lost the ball. There's still a chance, the Dragons. They will challenge this, surely, because they've got one. Yes, they will. That's how it works. With 2 to go.
Yeah, and Victor got up quickly and he went straight to his captain
the off-field decision of a knock on the ground.
In the end, is this the only challenge we've had tonight? Because there's been some...
Seen a picture, Bradley lose the ball at any point. His hands on the ball at this point.
Very long study of the ball.
Victor maintains possession the whole time. The challenge is successful. It's tackled there on.
I don't even know why you're talking, Nathan. You're not the captain, mate. Off you go. Tackle 4, back here. Confirm the mark. Mate, the way it was, it looked like you lost it, so I called it. That's what challenge is there for. That's all right. I appreciate it. Mark's here. So, tackle 4. Just wait for me, Victor.
Yeah, the coaches called and play on like there was no chance of an error there, but they're lucky that they had their challenge. It was really important they had that challenge. With 2 minutes to go, the Dragons in good field position. Who knows what could have happened?
I was a little flippant about it. The Roosters, through having that challenge, it saved a turnover of possession. Jack DeBellin still the VB hard worker tonight. Hit up 10 tackles. Dragons, they've only really got one set. One set to try and end a big week.
Wait now, wait.
They are 20 metres away from their own line. Illawarra on play number 2.
Move all together!
It will boil down to their number 7, Ben Hunt. Unless Tyrell Sloan can come up with some Anzac Day type magic that he produced at Allianz Stadium. 3 tackles now up. Finally, they ask a question. Heading wider, Sully's way. Moses Sully with the ball. Caught there by 3 defenders. That's the 4th. A minute to go. 8 metres inside their own half. Now they'll go right. DeBellin. This time, Sullivan. Dummy. Goes outside. Lomax. Then Ravalawa. Bounces off Hutchison. Still with the ball for the Dragons. Driving tackle, Radley.
Last tackle together!
Last tackle, Dragons. This is it. It has to be a bomb and hope from the Dragons. Hunt goes short side. Dummy and run. Now kicks over the top. It'll come down 10 out. Collins was there. Play on. Still the last tackle. Big numbers left. Sloan decides to kick. Here come the Dragons. Here come the Dragons. Oh my goodness. Who writes these scripts? Rugby League! You beautiful thing! Look at the Dragons fans now! Their prayers have been answered. There's still a kick to come to win it. It is 22 all, folks. But that is quite dazzling. The roller coaster. Trent Robinson has just fallen out of his carriage. And Ryan Carr wants another ride.
Wow. Watch out for the second kick. The first kick, Ben Hunt, he ran down the short side. I was wondering what he was doing or what he saw. And he kicks the football back, and it's a contest. There it is here, he kicks it back. Everyone goes up for it. The Roosters a bit hesitant to commit. It comes back into the Dragons' hands, and then Tyrell Sloan just finds the space. And that's a big pickup as well.
And able to bring it around close to the posts.
Fiona, that's amazing. A big pickup coming at speed, just bounces into his lap. And as you said, boss, he comes around underneath the post. A kick to come.
Okay, now in the coach's box is Sean Timmins. Many years ago for the Illawarra Steelers against the North Sydney Bears. And North Sydney overly missed from in front. It couldn't happen again, sure.
No, Zach Lomax will put this through the post for sure.
Try is confirmed. Try is confirmed. 22 all. Roosters thought they had it won. What a seesawing second half. What a sport we followed. The storylines.
Well, we all thought on the captain's challenge that would turn the Roosters' way. They needed that result. And then look out, the Dragons go down, last play, 2 kicks.
This is it, you still got to kick it. Zach Lomax, Dragons fans are up. Everyone is on his shoulders. Every Dragons fan is kicking this one. And they boot it into the Mr. Whippy truck. Dragons win. My goodness. What a finish. What a week. That is quite unbelievable. What a start to Friday Night Rugby League on Fox. I don't know what to say. That's the kick that wins it. You could say the Hunt kick helps win it. The Sloan kick gets the try to potentially win it.
Oh, just the confidence in those young boys to get that kick into place, to execute. They worked really hard. The first half won it for the Dragons. I know they've come home late, but they were really good in the first half and just showed how determined they were and just never gave up. And that's what the coach asked of them. Compete harder than the opposition, and you have to give them a tick.
An incredible night at Netstrata Jubilee. Dragons 24, Roosters 22.